Well, how is everyone? I hope you're all well. What are we all up to then? Are we all well? Are we all well this evening? I see we have Dinky walking the dog. It's a bit late for that. And I saw Break the Ice as well. Hello, my friend. What a couple of days we've had. I even bought a new mic. Look, bought a new mic. Just to use the phone for you guys. That is dedication to the cause. I've completely lost track of where this case is up to. I'll tell you what. It's up to its neck in confusion. I'll give you that much, Supermum. Hello, Kristen. How are you? So we do a mod check. Obviously, we've got Kristen. Hello, Kristen. Who else have we got? We've got Superior Dreams. Hello. We've got My May. Hello, My May. I hope you are well. Who else have we got? Just scanning up. Back up. Don't want to go up too far, do I? We did have Dope in earlier. Hello, Dope, if you're still around. And hello, everyone. We don't really do roll calls over here. I do a roll call on the lovely mods who keep everything running. I will just say, I had people emailing me moaning the other day. Oh, you wiped off my chat. You deleted me. I don't. Trust me, I don't. I don't have time. I ramble, don't I? Get on rambling. I don't have time to be going into chats and going, right, who am I going to delete? Well, it's good to see you all on this fabulous Sunday evening. Don't forget to hit the like as you enter in. We're currently on 337 people, and we've got 138. Well, apparently we've got 138 likes. 142. Creeping up. Someone says they can't hear. Can anyone hear? Is the music too loud? Is it too quiet? Let me know if the audio is okay or not. This is a different mic, because I'm going to be giving a mic away later on in this live, just in case there's any aspiring content creators out there, or perhaps your child or grandchild or partner or even a friend, perhaps someone you know is looking to build a channel. So I'm giving away a mic, wherever it is. This mic, that is the new Rode podcast USB. So we're going to be giving that away later. We'll plug into anything that's got a USB-C input jack. Audio great. Are you still going live with Break the Ice tonight? No, I did a community post earlier. We've made a decision which we shall announce later. But it's still going ahead. We're still doing a video. Do not worry. We're still doing a video. But we're just changing things a bit. I need a mic for my music. NY Rory. Well, you're in with a chance, my friend. You're in with a chance. It's not going to be a massive long live tonight because I know that people have got stuff to do. It was just really to jump on and touch on a couple of things. We've lost a content creator in the Idaho 4 community, and that is Get a Clue. Get a Clue has decided he is coming off the platform. I think Some people will be happy with that, because I know some people Get a Clue is not, he's not their style. He can be, he's quite impatient. He's quite impatient, and because of his impatience, he's decided to come off the platform. Sometimes when you're a content creator, you look at things that happen on the platform. You see that your content is being throttled a little bit, so the views drop. Can be many reasons for that, but a lot of the time it's mainly because people are not, how can I say, there could be an issue with your content. There could be an issue with the content itself. It's mainly to do with the view duration of the video. So if people are not watching it, or they're clicking off it, it could be that. But there are certain things like shadow bans and things like that, where if you've had enough people complain about your videos, then yes, you can get shadow banned for a period of time. But Cluminati, oh please, he'll be back. He's already done this once. Again, I think how can I say? I think if you do away with the noise of how he can become quite frustrated with the platform, then he has some extremely good information. I thought he changed his mind. Yeah, he had changed his mind, but he's changed it again. I believe he's actually now removed the videos off his channel, so they're no longer on there. Let me just have a quick look. Let's see if we can drag this up. What am I doing? We don't want to do that, do we? Let's have a look at Get a Clue. Get a Clue. Get a Clue and go videos. Yes, if we go on to here, I'll just show you this. So if you go on to Get a Clue's channel now and click on videos, there is just one video, which was from 4 hours ago. Louder, please. It's pretty much wound up as far as it will go, my friend. I've got an audio monitor here, and it's kind of everything's set to max. That's pretty much as loud as it will go, obviously depending on what you're listening on, and that will affect it. But the volume this end is pretty much, because we're live, I can only go so high. Obviously when they're post edit, you can boost audio and play about with audio somewhat, but that's not something we can do in live. But anyway, yes, with regards to Get a Clue, he's left. But he was talking about something that we had talked about a long time ago, and it was the front door being open. Potentially, the front door of 1122 King Road had been left open. And I found that this was an incredibly important element in the Idaho 4 case. I'm going to do a standalone video tomorrow just to bring everyone's attention back to it, because I think it's important that we ascertain whether this was the case. Because there's so many things that front door being open the following morning could impact in regards to the story itself. Yeah, there's a few people saying sound is good. Yeah, again, sadly, guys, because there's so many different ways that you can listen to the live, some people's volume can be affected. Your volume just decreased. I haven't changed anything, Licity. So I'm unsure. That could be the platform itself or what you're listening to. We do as much as we can here to make sure that the volume is as good as it can be. We've got the best mic, the best audio interface, and everything's pretty much maxed out to the point where if I was to try and raise it, it would likely clip out, and I don't want it to do that. You've probably noticed it in some of the videos actually, when you do it and all of a sudden it will drop, and that's when the volume clips and the audio interface actually clips the amp out. But anyway, Lana in Idaho. Yeah, I did hear that Lana was in Idaho. DoorDash kitchen door. AR Hayes in the house. Hello, my friend. Sounds fine on my phone, about 75%. Yeah, just peachy. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Again, we can't sadly cater for everybody across the board to sound exactly the same. Doors open in the cold can mess with estimated time of death. Yes, so this is one of the things that we was looking at when we originally spoke about this. Obviously, if that door... Originally, Kathy Mabber had come out and she had spoken about the time of death, and it was alluded to the fact that this was earlier than what is now the time frame for when this crime happened. So, again, it's difficult. Someone else has put cold destroys DNA. Of course it does. You know, over time that will degrade any DNA that is in the property. It will also let out any odors that have culminated inside the property because of the crime that had taken place. So we do have to consider whether someone or some members who were in there potentially opened the door in order to make it more livable, should we say, while they were in there. Who knows? But I think it is extremely important to ascertain whether that was the case. There was, when Get a Clue, they were talking about it might still be in his community feed. They were saying that Chief Fry had stated, he'd alluded to the fact that he didn't know that the front door was open. And I suppose because of the fact that when everybody turned up, there were so many people around this property, the door being open perhaps wouldn't have been something that anybody gave a second, thought about. But it was potentially one of the neighbours who had reported the door being open. Someone's put here, if the door was open, then how did the two remaining roommates not get cold? Exactly, how did they not get cold? Again, this is why this would be important to ascertain. It would also raise a question as to whether this was an entry point for whoever did the crime entering into the property. Did they in fact watch the DoorDash go to the door? And then when they left, did the person then go to the front door, knock on the front door, and gain access that way? There's always been something that has thrown me with respect of whoever did this crime. We've been led all the way from the beginning to believe that they potentially entered and exited through the back sliding door, primarily because Dylan Mortensen had said that she had seen somebody walking out towards the rear sliding door. And I thought to myself, if they came in through that rear sliding door, then how did they know that that rear sliding door was even going to be unlocked? Or did they go to the house knowing or under the impression that they would have to break in? I've talked about the doors inside this property. We know that student accommodation we know that there was locks on some of these bedroom doors. So how did this person go into this house knowing that they would have free reign inside the property? How did they know that they would be able to go in and get into the individual rooms? Does it make sense? There's a lot of things that make you think that they could have gone into this house with so many issues, get into the house and the door not being, the sliding door being locked, for instance, and having to break in silently. Would that have worked? So, there's still a lot of questions. There's still a lot of questions on how this person got into this property and exactly how they knew that they could get in again if they simply just walked through a door that was open. It would suggest that there was some degree of reconnaissance, if you like, done on the property. But if someone's going to the depths of reconnaissance on the property and learning the ins and outs of where people are, knowing that the rooms inside are not locked and knowing that the back sliding door isn't locked, they would make some of the real foolish mistakes that we're led to believe, if Brian Koberger is the guy, that he did, driving his car around freely and getting caught by CCTV in the area, the light bulb camera, potentially ring cameras. It's strange. It's strange, and that to me is a red flag. It's a red flag to me. No secret tunnels. This is a tunnel-free stream. If you would like to hear about tunnels, It ain't happening here. But anyway, Phil, wasn't the rumour that it was a drug party house with the code a known thing? Again, this has been speculation. There's no sort of evidence that is out there in the public eye that would offer any credence to it. We've had people come forward, such as Dave, who went around the lives for a while and spoke about the potential that this was some kind of drug den. But I can't see it being any, you know. At the end of the day, there was a lot of students who went there. There was a lot of students, a lot of partying going on. Typical. There would be a lot of people there. There would sometimes be sort of parties going on there without the people who lived there in the house, which does sort of allude to the fact that there could be freely flowing certain things in there, and no doubt there would have potentially been recreational, funny sweets floating around, perhaps. But I don't potentially think that that is what this crime was about. For me, another red flag in this is the fact that we have a scenario where earlier on in the evening, hello baby girl, how are you? I hope you are well. We have a fight earlier on in the evening. Ethan had got into an altercation, we know this, with some of the fraternity members, and it got to the point where they've had to leave. And to me, that is a huge red flag, because in the event that Brian Koberger is innocent of this crime, which we have to offer him the assumption of innocence at this stage, because it hasn't been proven beyond a reasonable doubt at this stage otherwise. And if he is in fact innocent, then someone else isn't, and then you have to look at the other potentials. And for me, a red flag would be that there was this altercation earlier on, and perhaps something happened in the house and it did spiral out of control. History has told us that this Greek way of life seems to have a situation where people will indeed do things. They will do stupid things under the influence, and who knows, something can happen, and they will protect one another. There will be some degree of a vow of silence between them, and we've seen it in other cases. No, it's not just things like this. It's not just students. Look at the Madeleine McCann case, for instance. Madeleine McCann case. The Tapper 7. The Tapper 7 have never spoken. Never said a word. You know, we can speculate on what we believe happened to Maddie, but we'll never know. Not unless someone does genuinely speak. But make no bones about it, there are people around even that case that have never spoken. Never spoken. He's not innocent, for fuck's sake. Prove it. Prove it. I'm not saying you're wrong, but prove it. Hello, Jules, by the way. Editing a video, but wanted to stop in and say, hey, hope everyone having a great Sunday. Good luck with your editing, Jules. I hope you are having a fantastic weekend, and I hope that your issues that you've been dealing with are in a bit of a better position than they were when I last saw you discussing it. Yeah, what did Maddie tell Adam? This is another one for me. You know, at the end of the day, any sort of things that look at communication that is questionable, and then afterwards it leads to the death of people who were having that conversation, to me is a red flag still. It is. It could have been a completely innocent conversation, but we don't know that. We don't know. And that is a red flag. It is. Told him everything. They're going to get you for this. Maybe we misheard. Who knows? I don't think we misheard. I think that's pretty much what is said. Could it have been in some other context? Of course it could. 100%. But when you look at the grander scheme of things, the bigger picture, do you really feel that can be completely ignored and overlooked? Not yet. Not yet. Emma V, greetings from the Norfolk coast. I'm in West Norfolk, so you're not too far from me, Emma. I'm on the coast as well. Right by Hunstanton and Heacham. What are your red flags? As of right now, what are your red flags? Obviously, we've got red flags in the court case itself. Come on, man. Even the dogs on the street know he done it. But again, this is just you stating your opinion. And again, you're entitled to your opinion. Of course you are, my friend. And I respect your opinion. But I want you're in the comments now and you've made this statement. So put your money where your mouth is and tell us what singular piece of evidence or multiple pieces of evidence that you've seen, facts, that prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that Brian Kohberger is guilty. That is a challenge for you. I want you to come and tell me. I want you to tell me what piece of information you feel is out there that we are privy to that proves that he is the guy. And again, I'm not saying he's not. My issue that I have with people and why I take issue with people is because I feel that people are misinterpreting things that are being put out there. The biggest red flag is him waiving his speedy trial. I do feel that this is a valid point, baby girl. I 100% do. Some people would argue because his life is on the line that perhaps it would be foolish, even if he's innocent, to waive it, because ultimately they still have to plan how they could deal with anything that gets thrown at them. So this is pretty standard procedure to waive it and to make the most of the time that you have. But you're right. To me, I do feel that when you're requesting discovery, and you think, or I'm innocent and you're failing to give me discovery, why wouldn't they just say, right, let's have it. Let's crack on and get on with it. So that to me is a big thing, but that also, on the flip side of that coin, it makes me kind of standoffish with Ann Taylor, because I'd like to speak to a legal specialist who could potentially be in a position to be there to Brian Kohberger. Would they have done things differently? We don't have that. I haven't seen anybody come forward and say, look, if I was his if I was his legal counsel, I would have handled it differently. At the end of the day, Ann Taylor is a public defender, and it just makes me very wary of her. Do I trust her 100%? Sadly, I wish I did, and I hope she proves me wrong. But she's going to have to pull something out of the bag to make me, to make me trust her 100%. Penn Dizzy. I wouldn't want a speedy trial, yikes. He'd be made guilty. State he'd have no chance. Yeah, and this is the thing, I do feel potentially would it have been foolish to jump the gun. I don't know. For me, it is a difficult one. It is a difficult one. I do feel, I did question this when it very first happened. It did make me sort of step back and think, why would you do that? But has our friend come back with his piece of information that he feels is the proof of Brian Kohberger being guilty beyond a reasonable doubt? I haven't seen him come back to us yet. No, I don't think I've missed it, unless it's on that chat over there. If that conversation isn't, why is the media editing his out? Mainstream media, they do make you laugh. They do make you laugh. The way that they spin every single thing is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Marty, BK is probably enjoying all this attention and speculation. It's a challenge for him. He could be. But then I wonder why he would then not want cameras in the courtroom. I can see why they'd potentially want the house knocked down, because the reality is the house feeds into emotion. I spoke on this before. People buy on emotion, and juries can be swayed on emotion, and that house would have been a huge emotional tool. But the flip side of that coin is I can't work out why the prosecution wanted it to go away. And to me, that is the biggest question of all. Why did the prosecution want that house to go? That to me is a red flag, because that was, if he is guilty, then that was their biggest piece of evidence. Unless they've just got something that we've spoken about in the past, an ace in the hole. Because I feel that they do need an ace in the hole. What would the ace in the hole be? I've seen a couple of people who have mentioned the knife sheath. And yes, at the end of the day, there's a knife sheath, and the knife sheath has apparently got his DNA on it. There is issues with that. The fact that it is touch DNA. We've spoken about the DNA before. You know, these are skin cells. These are skin cells that can be passed from person to person, object to person, and it doesn't necessarily place him at the crime scene. And we've seen mistakes like this made. We've touched over the last couple of days on Christopher Tapp, different situation. But, you know, what law enforcement did to that guy is absolutely criminal. They fed Christopher Tapp, you know, facts about that case that they hadn't released to the public, that only the killer would have known, and law enforcement. They fed it to him so he had knowledge of it, and then they turned round and used that against him, saying that he had that knowledge and he must have been the killer because he knew it. But they were the ones who told him. True story, that. When there is enough pressure, there is enough eyes, things can happen. Things can happen. And, you know, those of you from the UK and some of you from overseas will remember the Ricky Neve case. There's recently been a 2-part documentary done on the Ricky Neve case. Ricky Neve was a young boy who sadly lost his life at the hands of a slightly older child. It took 4 decades nearly to catch him. But originally, you know, the confirmation bias towards the mum, because the mum was just she weren't the best mum in the world. Imagine a Candice Bly, kind of how Candice Bly was pushed out into the public. And I don't want to talk about Candice Bly in the Summer Wells case in a derogatory fashion. We've done that to death. But what we were portrayed by the likes of Chris McDonough about what he witnessed and how Candice Bly was, you know, Ricky Neve's mum was like that. Do you know what I mean? She would send him off to get stuff for him late at night and get stuff for her, you know, collecting stuff. I don't need to say much more. And, you know, but they destroyed the woman. And you can now imagine, do you know what I mean? Not only had she lost her son, but police had her tagged for that immediately. And then their excuse is so many people are looking, do you know what I mean? So many people, the public are looking. But there was images of the van driving off of her in the back of it, and these people were throwing stuff at the van. They were kicking the van. They were going for blood. Do you know what I mean? Going for blood. Thank you, Brianna. Welcome to Harsh Reality, and thank you for being here. Don't forget to smash like, or Harsh will smash you. Sub and share. Please be respectful to chat. That's all we ask. It's all we ask. Chris McDonough is a dirty cop still to this very day. We've all got, you know, there's going to be some people in here who love Chris McDonough. But was it Michael Crowe, baby girl? Have I got that name right off the top of my head? Was it Michael Crowe? Who Chris McDonough was involved in using the Reed technique, which is something that was notoriously used. They basically hammered people. That was the same as what they did to Ricky Neve's mum. She was actually interviewed like 40 odd times that over a very short period of time, around, you know, 36 hours, about 14 hours in a 36-hour period of just hammering the same questions over and over and over and over again. And, you know, it's yeah, yup. Yeah, it's horrendous. But that's how a lot of these people are. And we know when you think about Brian Koberger, for instance, we know that he went in and spoke to law enforcement, but there is no record of it. There is no videotape. How is that a thing? That to me is a red flag. For him to have spoken to law enforcement at least once, and we think more times. Are we going to talk about Christopher Tapp? We have just mentioned Christopher Tapp, and I am going to be speaking more on him. I think I've actually got it on the back here. I do have it on the back here. This here, look. Chris Tapp's wrongful conviction never should have happened. DNA cleared him over 20 years ago. We hope this settlement is a wake-up call. You know, and this is a guy who lost 20 years of his life. 20 years of his life. It's absolutely insane how someone can lose 20 years of their life for a crime they didn't commit. And then sadly, not shortly after, he then he loses his life. He's murdered. Thank you very much, Els. Cops not handing over case file to BK's lawyer. I'm guessing here, but this 11th supplementary request for discovery, I believe, is a request for the rest of the DNA. Because obviously Judge John Judge has come forward and said that he's going to hand over a proportion of it, or a portion of it. I reckon they want it all. I don't, for the life of me, there was no sense. Steve Shannon, how did he die? Blunt force trauma. It was blunt force trauma, which is sad because about 3 weeks prior to that, his wife, actually, they were separated, but his wife had died in a car accident. So both him and his wife, weeks apart, lost their lives. And they I did a video on this the other day. If you haven't seen it after this live, if you're bored, go and find it. I think it was a couple of days ago. But they're even questioning that. What has happened to him, has it got anything to do with Idaho? You know, and the fact that he sued Idaho. But 11th request is ridiculous. It is. You know, you shouldn't have to request anything. If the prosecution is confident in their case, just hand it over. Hand everything over. There you go. Have it. But to say that, you know, the DNA, which is basically supposedly just his family tree. You know, it's bizarre. It's absolutely bizarre. You know, don't get me wrong. I don't want, if he's guilty of doing it, I don't want him to get off on a technicality. That would be a travesty. But at the end of the day, still, guilty or not, we can't go down the route of allowing the system to do what they want. There has to be control. There has to be a procedure set in place. Because as soon as you open those floodgates to allow people to do what they want, and that's when it gets very, very grey. And we don't want that. My May had a question. Let me see if I can find that. My May. Someone asked a great question. Why do you think Xana had her dad change her lock? We did look at this. Obviously, people have turned around and said that, you know, maybe they weren't using the locks. I think this is a massive thing, again, and a potential red flag. And it goes back to what I talk about, the front door being open. You know, if she was changing the lock on her door, then potentially was it to keep someone out or keep something that was in her room safe? But ultimately, that proves that the locks were being used. Now, you could say that it was for when she had Ethan over, so, you know, people wouldn't walk in on them, you know, and I can think that. But, it's, I still can't get my head around how this person managed to get into this house And not only was the outside door unlocked then, but all of the bedroom doors that he would go to were seemingly unlocked too. Just this, you know, it's I can't get my head around it. I think Kristen just said bad luck. Very bad luck. Was it Kristen? I did say, see someone say, or it might have been Brianna. But, yeah, you know what I mean? It's horrendous. Horrendous. Let's have a look. She didn't. In my opinion, Cara misheard Jeffrey Canodal say she had changed a lot. Possible. Certainly possible. We've obviously had people mishearing things such as Steve Gonsalves with regards to the 911 call. I'm adamant that Steve Gonsalves wasn't saying that Kaylee had called 911 earlier. I don't believe that he said that at all, but it does sound like he says, or he misspeaks and says that she did. Why would the killer leave two witnesses? Someone else raised a good, valid question. Someone said to me, was Dylan Mortenson's bedroom light on, or was it off? Was there any light in her room, or was her room pitch black? Because obviously if she's coming out of her door, and she opens her door when someone is walking towards her, even if she's got a window in her room, and there is a light from outside coming into her room, if that house is dark and she opens her door, there is going to be light flooding into that hall, that walkway. So he doesn't even have to see her. He's going to see the door open and the light being emitted from the door. And I found that it's not something that I've heard anybody ask about before. But even that is a very, very valid question. Is there any sort of light in Dylan Mortenson's room? Because that would lead you to that question. You know, why would he then leave someone who he then knows has flat out seen him head on, straight on? Yeah. I agree. Many people heard it differently though. Her phone would have shone light too. Yeah, like I say, there's so many things. Like again, like a window. Unless she's got blackout curtains or anything like that. If that door is open, to me, if there's a disparity between the light in the bedroom and the light in the hallway, once that door opens, they're going to see that that door is open. Unless there is, you know, the light in both of them spaces are the same. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that there would be, you know, no differential between the bedroom and that and the hallway. So again, it does make massive sense. Dope Soul, a member for 2 years. 2 years. The channel's been going for 2 years now. It is literally, I think, pretty much to the day. It's like our second birthday. Happy birthday to us. Do we even have, what we got here? Might even have, do we hear that? I don't even know if that came through here or went through there. Steve, my son told me locks are for honest people. Sassy. I honestly believe that BK is not the perpetrator. If he was involved, it sure the heck wasn't done by just him. I'm not buying that for a second. And I think there's a lot of people who'll agree. I think people struggle to think that this guy, if he never did anything before, that he managed to do it in the time that we've been led to believe he did, so quickly, so swiftly, and for nothing to be in his car. Nothing found in his car. You know. Oh, that scared me. Someone must have Known the house, I would have fallen down the steps. Yeah, I'm not. I can't even walk around my own house in the dark without. We've got like this, like a swinging hammock in the bedroom. It's nowhere, it's not 50 Shades of Grey, anything like that. It's like a reed and egg chair thing. And I get out and go to walk to the loo, and the amount of times I've kicked the fucking frame on that thing, I'm surprised I haven't lobbed it through the window. But I can't walk around, you know what I mean? I can't walk around the house without kicking something. That was loud. See, I didn't hear it. See, I sound really loud in my ears, and you lot sound cool. Some of you sound quiet. That applause sounded quiet. Didn't even come through my headphones, actually. And that you're saying that's loud. Funny. Oh my goodness, I feel like a winner because Harsh picked one of my comments. Yes, I'm starstruck. And there's another one for you, Sassy. Another one. 50 Shades of Grey. I think the second one was better. What's that? Yeah, right. You scream closet freak. The Red Room. Swinging hammock. It's a fucking reading chair. Filthy minds. Do we know if it's true they removed bedding with evidence from Brian's parents? I would imagine that they'd have taken it regardless. I think they'd have pulled everything. Every single thing that he's touched, my mate, they would have pulled. They would have pulled, 100%. 100%. But let's not forget, in what we've seen, there hasn't really been anything. Not anything. Like, there's still people who think that he was found with their ID. I'm pretty sure that it was his own ID. You know, it was, again, very cleverly worded and pushed out that, you know, he had IDs. And people are like, right, he's got IDs of the victims. Got IDs of the victims. No, hasn't got IDs of the victims. The fact you got Red Room from that heart proved my point. I've just watched them. What do we got? BK didn't state that BF could save him. It was the criminal investigator for Ann Taylor. BK didn't state that BF could save him. That's it. Yeah. It was the private investigator who was investigating. He had potentially found exculpatory evidence, which I don't think we will ever learn anything about. You know, and again, red flag. 100%. I'm sad Harsh didn't sing Happy Birthday to me. Smack on the nose, Harsh. Happy birthday, though. Happy birthday. There you go. Happy birthday. Brianna. Again, welcome to Harsh Reality and thank you for being here. Don't forget to smash that like button or I'll smash you. That's how social media manipulates a narrative. I think the reality is, though, people have their own thoughts. They'll make their mind up very, very early on, and unless they see something 100% that sways the entire herd, it's very hard to pluck people away. You might get one or two, but yeah, it's people make up their minds early. Like, many people believe Brian Goldberg is guilty, and they won't hear anything else now. It's just white noise to them. White noise. And that's how you end up with these, even law enforcement. Law enforcement will see DNA evidence and they will consider that a slam dunk. They don't look at anything else then. Nothing else at all. Nothing else at all. That's all they need. They've got DNA. Holy hell, I actually made it to alive. He was on a drop-off. He didn't do it. I still believe he was the guy they got the goods from, either Adderall or Bud. Potentially. Makes sense. He could have been someone who took stuff to him. make a few bucks. I'm sure he isn't a rich man. He would have gone on to be, but I think right now I don't think he had any. Got to tone down that aggression. I forgot we ain't got to smash folks anymore. No, if they don't hit likes, we'll still smash them. We can still tell people, like, but softly, like smash them really softly. Harsh, what are your thoughts on Eric, who drove the girls home, took 6 days to get the police, took a week off work after the murder? He works as a Moscow police. Yeah, this is the Gower guy. Eric Gower. There's a lot of people talking about Gower at the moment. I'm standing back. I've been looking at the Gower situation, seeing what comes of it, because it's very hard. What I usually do is I look to see what is being said, then I look to see whether that can be corroborated, what is being said, and see if it's worth speaking about, or it's just going to add mud into the water. Then I'll stay away from it until that's different. Karen, Texas has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Karen. That is very, very kind of you to do that. And we've got some new members. And if I tag that, so the new members know exactly where they came from. Did you delete my membership? No, I didn't delete your membership. I don't even think I can delete memberships. It's actually come up there. Yeah, that's not saying you're a member. No, I don't delete anything. I didn't see, because I've been looking at this other chat. Now I've just noticed that it's not on there. Unless you've had a card expired or something like that, don't so potentially, I don't know. That's what happened to me. I think a couple of people who I was a member to, I think I lost my card and I had to ditch my card and get a new one, and I think I lost a couple of memberships. What the what? What have we got? Trying to do that. Darn, I'm late. Better late than never. Better late than never. Just keeping an eye on YouTube does that. Yes, potentially it could be. Could be. Happy birthday to Arsh. Whose birthday? It's not Arsh's birthday. It's my birthday next month. It's my birthday in exactly, well, nearly just under a month. The 13th of February is my birthday. 13th of February. Day before Valentine's Day. Isn't that a bummer, isn't it? Get something on your birthday, and then the following day, you have to get Mrs. Harsh something. So if I just ask for money, I can buy Mrs. Harsh something with the money I get for my birthday, perhaps. Kind of balance the scales, even it out. Don't tell her I said that. I don't think she's watching tonight. She's ill. She is full of cold. She was up all night last night from about 2 o'clock in the morning. Bless her. She has gone to sleep. It's Lou's birthday. Yes, it is. It is. And she likes this. Sorry. I love your 2 dogs. They're both dickheads. Both of the dogs are dickheads. I was going to leave the little one in here with me tonight. He's a bit better when I'm on lives. But he'd probably want me to hold him. And if I'm doing a live for about an hour, my arms would likely have dropped off about 20 minutes ago. Because he's quite heavy after a while. And he's a French bulldog, so he stinks. It's like carrying a box of rotten eggs. Do you think the trial should be moved? Good question, and no, I don't. I'll tell you why I don't. Because if Logston's statement was correct, it was Karen, Texas, by the way, Kitra, who gifted memberships. yeah, if Jay Logston's statement was correct that the grand jury members had requested additional information, then that would lead you to believe that this is the perfect place for the trial to take place. I don't think he's going to escape people knowing about it. It's going to be very, very hard to go anywhere. The end of the earth would have probably heard of this crime. So I think it makes sense to keep it here. I do. Everyone here is dealing with a rash of the dreaded sea. Seems like it's everywhere here. Andy Kane. What up, Harsh? How about them tunnels, dog? Fuck those tunnels. I said earlier, this is a tunnel-free zone. Yeah, she's ill, bless her. I'm overwhelmed. It's freezing and only -2 degrees, and I have a homeless man and his daughter staying with us for a few days to try and help. I don't understand why people don't respect others. That's amazing, Sassy. Amazing. We try and do stuff for homeless people. I don't see why people can be homeless in this day and age. I genuinely don't, but they are, and it's wrong. If a suspect is innocent until proven guilty in the US, how is it lawful that BK has been detained for so long before even being tried? Heacham is lovely. I'm near Cromer. Oh, I was in Cromer in the summer. I love Cromer. I love Cromer. Yeah, Heacham's nice. It's just quiet. There's not really a lot there, which suits me down to the ground. In fact, my grandmother, she has a house right on the North Beach. Right on the North Beach. Literally like 1 minute from the beach. Love to Mrs. Arch. Thank you very much, my May. The only tunnel issue is tunnel vision. What's that car report called? Iris, that is the Berla report. The Berla. B-E-R-L-A. They do vehicle forensics and have been involved in convictions. If a car is able to produce a Berla report, then, you know, it's... there's a lot that a Berla report can pull up, and it doesn't have to have the head unit or stereo in there with everything on it, because a lot of vehicles are already prepped, so the wire and loom and the car's ECU already has the functionality of the head unit, so there's still so much that can pull up. Harsh, you ever thought of reading books on tape? You've got a voice that makes you want to drool into a pillow. That is a compliment, so don't take it wrong. Believe it or not, I do. I read books. People do pay me to do narrations of stories. But it's not something that I advertise doing because it's expensive. And I don't like charging people, but it's expensive and it takes forever. But yeah, I do it. Who did it, Harsh? I don't know. I have no idea. No idea. If I had to hazard a guess, in what order, I would say potentially a frat argument that got out of hand would be up there, right up there. A complete stranger coming into the area, which we're going to touch on something in a second. Something in the UK. Do I consider Brian Koberger is a potential? 100%. I do. I do consider him a potential. But there's just something very, very personal. There's a very, very personal feeling about this crime. The manner with which these students were dispatched. It's just something real personal. It feels like someone had a rage and anger. And Brian Koberger seems to be very, very in control. Very calm, very collected, very, strange. How do you feel if he did it but has serious mental issues? What are your thoughts about a conviction? This is a very, very good question. For those people who have been around this channel for a long time, they will know that my mum sadly suffered from paranoid schizophrenia. there would be several attempts on her life. She would eventually take her own life, but part of that journey with her was that I moved out of home at 16 years old after she attacked me with a knife. I have a scar actually on my hand, defensive wound on the hand from when it happened. But she had no recollection of it. She had no recollection of it happening. And one of the attempts she made on her own life was with me and my brother with me. And it was literally just like that. Just a snap. Just a snap. So, I'm very conscious that these mental health issues exist. I know that people can do things to people who they wouldn't otherwise do it. But the issue that I have with crimes like this is I feel that there is a degree of premeditation to it, and that's when sort of the mental health issues then become jaded to me, because I think if you are that bad, then are you not getting help? Are you not reaching out to someone to speak about the thoughts that you're having? And, that's a difficult one for me. I can appreciate when people absolutely snap and things can happen. But when there is a period of delay and perhaps thinking about it, perhaps planning and plotting and scheming, it's a hard one. Just don't consult with JB Gunner. No. No. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, it's okay. The journeys we take bring us to where we are, and I don't want my mum's legacy to be damage to me that is irreparable. It's made me who I am. Do you know what I mean? It's made me understand a lot about other people. The thing is, we all have mental issues. How do we deal with them is what differs. Help should be more readily available for everyone. I 100% agree. 100% agree. 100% agree. Are you worried that you, your siblings, your children might develop mental health problems? No, I'm not. Because I believe that a lot of mental health issues are exacerbated by the world that you live in, the things that are around you. My mum, for instance, was in a situation that I believe there were things around her that, like the gentleman just said, right? Everybody has a weak spot. Everyone has, we call it Achilles heel, don't we? So everyone has a weak spot on Achilles heel, and you can get hit in the same place 10,000 times, no effect. Then you can get hit in this weak spot once, and you fall down like a house of cards. And it's what that then turns into, what that manifests as. Does it manifest as anxiety? Does it manifest as depression? Does it manifest as schizophrenia? We don't know. We don't know. But, every single person there's a blind spot in their life. And it's about keeping your eye on the blind spot. Don't, look after yourself. Look after yourself, and don't burn yourself out worrying about things that don't matter. Don't bang your head against a wall trying to make a door out of it, because it ain't gonna work. Find a door. Very sad, harsh. You are an inspiration of courage and survival in spite of hurt and pain. Rough childhood is hard to come out of, but we can do it with proper help. 100%. Very sorry for the mental health issues. Absolutely. Your mum is your mum, no matter if it was cancer, heart, or brain. It's very sad. It is. We're all here for just a blink of an eye. In the grander scheme of things, we're here for a blink of an eye. Make sure you live your life to the absolute fullest, because you don't know what's around the corner. Don't know what's around the corner. But have we got some final questions? We've been going for an hour. I like to stick to around an hour. So if you've got any final questions, and we shall answer them. I love seeing another side of you tonight. My lives are a little bit different than what you see in other places. People who have been around here a while will tell you. You know. Steve Shadow's saying I'm not okay scares people away. But that's ignorance of them, Steve, isn't it? It's ignorance of them. You know, it's okay to not be okay because the majority of people aren't. There's just people who can admit to not being okay, and there's some people who are scared of saying it. But people who aren't okay, who refuse to admit they're not okay, they're not gonna fix, they're not gonna mend. Sassy. Again, Sassy, people are gonna talk, mate, if we keep meeting like this. My husband is a USMC veteran, and he suffers from severe PTSD. It's not easy, but I manage. And you manage because you love him. Remember, you are amazing. Everybody's amazing. We are all amazing in our own ways. We're amazing. And like I say, when I turn around and every day turn around and say, you look amazing, it's because you do. You are. Everyone's amazing. And don't let anyone tell you any different. You know, looking amazing, looking lovely, looking gorgeous doesn't have to be polished. Don't believe what you see in the newspapers and the magazines and the posts on social media saying this is what gorgeous looks like. No, it's not. That's what a picture looks like that's been made to look an interpretation of beauty and what social media wants. But anyway, where were we? You have the most beautiful background and I enjoy your shows. Thank you very much, Sky. It was very kind. Best to tell your doctor if you are not okay. 100%. Seek help. Seek help. Sky Ricky, thank you so much for the super chat. Very much appreciated. We try not to ask for them over here. We're not into all that shite. But when they do come in, I don't think I don't appreciate it because I do. Give it to the dogs. I'll buy them some treats. Harsh, those words you say to us at the start of your videos, you have changed my mood so many times just by saying that. And that's all I want. For someone who wouldn't otherwise have someone to say it to them, or someone who's woken up, they don't feel 100% for the day, just to hear something that might make them just feel a little bit better than they did. That makes it worth it. And that's why I'm not going to stop doing it. But there we are. I reckon that's brought us to a close. Just over an hour. And we touched on some things. We've spoken again. We've spoken with each other. And hopefully me and Break the Ice will get this video done for you guys. But before I go, I'm going to give this mic to someone. How I'm going to do it? I'm going to scan through. I'm going to go through these. I'm not going to look. And then I'm going to, I'm going to click. No, I clicked in the middle. I've got to actually click on someone. Keep clicking in between the pictures. I actually got to click on a picture. There we go. Barbara Gabriel. Barbara Gabriel. Is Barbara Gabriel here? Barbara Gabriel, are you here? Let's see if Barbara Gabriel's here. Dunno. If you're still here, Barbara Gabriel. Sound like I said Father Gabriel. If Barbara Gabriel is here, she has won herself a mic. She may not want to, see. Some people don't. That's why I'm hanging around for Barbara Gabriel to. I'm going to call a couple more times. That's how this is going to work. See if they're listening. We'll give 1 more minute. 1 more minute. Barbara Gabriel, who has won a mic so far. But we're going to move on after 40 seconds. And I'm going to try and give it to someone else. And that person will have a minute to accept it. Where are we? Can we see? Is it there? Is it there? Is it there? Da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't think so. I don't think so. So we say 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds, Barbara. Barbara Gabriel. Come on, Barbara. Barbara, Barbara, Barbara. I am waiting. Oh, tell me, Barbara. I think Barbara might have left. There's a bit of a delay with where you are and where I am. So I am giving it a little bit longer just to make sure that Barbara's gone. And then I'm going to go and give it to someone else. Barbara Gabriel. No, she's not here. I think Barbara left. And sadly, no, she's here. Phew. Barbara. That was so lucky. That was so lucky. Barbara, you've won a mic. The pod mic. So if you or someone you know is a content creator, that is a very good mic to get them started. Very good mic to get them started. All you've got to do is email me. My email address is in the description of the video. Once it goes up, just email me and we shall arrange delivery out to you. Unless there is, for some reason, you may not want it, Barbara. You may be someone who has no use for it whatsoever. And if that is the case, you can let me know and I shall pass it on to somebody else. But if you're happy with that, let me know and we can wrap up. I don't want people to jump out just in case Barbara turns around and say, look, I don't want a mic. What do I bloody want a mic for? Da-da-da-da. I reckon Barbara is a very slow, like a friend of mine, he's a very slow typer. Like I'll message him on like a Thursday and he'll come back to me the following Wednesday. I think he types with his nose. Oh, but I do. She does. Good. So email me after this. It might not be today that I come back to you because it's now 23:52 in the PM. So it'll probably be tomorrow at some point that I come back to you, Barbara, but we'll arrange delivery. But do keep an eye out to the videos tomorrow. I'm going to touch on something from tonight just to condense it down quickly. But I will also be talking about Lucy Charles, the Lucy Charles case, which is a case very, very similar. Literally, she has just been found in the UK and near enough identical to the Nicola Bulley case. But we'll be talking about that tomorrow. So keep your eyes out. Have an amazing rest of your Sunday. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to the mods, Brianna, Ken, Kristen, Tracy, Brianna again, my May, Dope, the boss, and who else have we got? Who else hung about? I said Ken, didn't I? But anyway, we have an amazing set of mods. We do. So thank you to all of the mods. You make the place what it is, and without you, I couldn't do it. Thank you to everyone who came in and hung about with us for an hour. You're all amazing. I'm going to say enjoy the rest of your day. I shall catch you all in the next one. Good night. I love you.